Hello, my name's Jordan. I'm from the United States of America, and this is a new podcast, and I'm titling it right now Strictly Scouse because I'm a huge Liverpool Football Club supporter, and I love the club so much. I love everything about it. They really got me into football back in like 2007, 2008. I grew up playing football, baseball, basketball. I wrestled, everything, but I never played what us Americans like to call soccer. Um, and I never really had an interest in it. So, yeah, 2007, 2008, I went to college, university, and me and some buddies started playing FIFA. And long story short, I always used Liverpool, and I always scored with my favorite number 9, Fernando El Nino Torres, and I would just tear people up. And it was like such an amazing feeling. It was like, man, I'm unstoppable. Like, this team is sweet. Like, let's just keep rolling. So little did I know, a month or two after that, I would be in the university library using illegal streams to watch Liverpool matches. And so I started watching the Premier League back in 2007, 2008, and I've been a fan ever since. So that's just a little bit of background. I didn't want you guys to think like, oh, who is this, Yankee talking about football? Like, what does he know about Liverpool? He's never played, yada, yada, yada. All valid concerns. Not mad at any of that, but I watch every single game. I watch multiple podcasts talking about the Reds, and I was just like, okay, like I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try my hand at it. I'm gonna try to deliver value and education and insight into my favorite football club. And yeah, so here's the start of it. So I'm gonna start out with the state of the Reds. Currently, we're 6th in the table of the Premier League. Teams like Manchester City, Manchester United, Arsenal, some others, I can't even remember, maybe Crystal Palace, are in front of us. And to start the season, it was a rocky start. Like, we were winning games, but we were winning games late in the matches, and like none of the wins were convincing. None of them were. We controlled and dominated possession, and played our typical style of football. So I talked to a buddy or two about it, going back and forth, and I voiced my concerns and said, yeah, our form is not great. It's clearly evident that the new signings are taking a bit to adjust and to gel into the structure of the team. And so I had concerns. And then we go to Champions League. We lose to Atletico Madrid. Pretty good match. Lose that match. And then that starts a string of 4 consecutive losses leading up to this previous Wednesday when we beat Eintracht Frankfurt in the Champions League 5-1. But even in that game, we go down 1-0 in the first 10 minutes, and it's like same old. What's going on? Why are we falling asleep on defense? Like, it's just completely switched off. And then, thankfully they found some form and got it going and created chances and, did well and won the match. And, I was happy with it. I was, pleased, kind of optimistic after it. But, I knew yesterday we were playing Liverpool Junior, aka Brentford. You got the center back used to be in Liverpool. Kelleher, the goalkeeper, used to be in Liverpool. Obviously, Jordan Henderson, captain of Liverpool for a long time. Fabio Carvalho. So a lot of Liverpool players there at their place. Knew it was going to be a tough match. We start off the match just completely turned off. Quick goal, like straight out of it, and we're playing from behind ever since. I think it was 2-0 going into halftime, and then we got one back in the second half, but then they made it 3-1, and then we made it 3-2, and then we eventually lost with like 10 added minutes. I thought it was going to be another late heroic effort to salvage a point in a tough environment versus a tough team, but just wasn't good enough. So that's the state of the Reds. I want to kind of go through position by position to kind of just give my honest take, and I'm just going to go from goalkeeper all the way up to striker. So obviously Allison is hurt. Unfortunately, this is a reoccurring theme. He gets hurt during the seasons, and it sucks because when he's fit, he's, in my opinion, the best keeper in the world, or right up there, top 3 or whatever. So that sucks. Hopefully he'll be back soon. I think we miss him. Georgi Mamardashvili, like, he's a good, competent keeper. I've liked what I've seen out of him. Like, for instance, yesterday, Brentford could have easily scored 5 or 6. They scored 3, but they could have easily scored 5 or 6. I think he made some nice saves. So, yeah, I'm happy we got him. Quite honestly, like I told a buddy yesterday, I kind of wish we would have kept Kelleher, but I understand his desire to get first-team reps and play regular football, so I'm not mad at him for that. Left back, Kirkez has been starting. Mainly, we got him from Bournemouth in the transfer window. Look, guys, I'm just going to keep it like honest and blunt. I do not think that he's ready to play at this level yet. Obviously, he's shown that he's been a good Premier League player. I mean, he was in the Premier Team of the Season 11 last year at left back, had a great season. But the system we're asking him to play and the ways that he's moving up the pitch and the balls that he's choosing and just his lack of understanding of the system and the flow, and I just think like right now it's not a great idea to put him out there every match, which leads me to talk about Andy Robertson, Robo, one of my favorites. Been with the club for ages, and he's been a faithful servant. He's won a lot of trophies. He's proved everything. I actually think recently his form has been better. Like, exactly what to expect out of him. He's going to give you the nice long balls. He's going to whip some crosses into the box. He's going to, he tracks back sometimes a little slow on defense, but yeah, I guess that's to be expected for a player in his 30s. But all in all, I mean, in a time of, dare I say, crisis for Liverpool Football Club, I think Andy Robertson needs to be in the lineup more often than not. Moving to the center, captain Virgil van Dijk, my boy, love him. Again, just not a great season so far. Silly mistakes, blown coverages, miscommunication, a silly penalty yesterday. I mean, you could argue it wasn't a penalty or if it was in or outside the box. Regardless, they called it a penalty. Their striker scored a penalty to make it 3-1. That was pretty much the game. So mistakes like that, not great. Leadership, also not great. I don't like what he's been saying in the post games, like about blocking out the outside noise and stuff. It's like, dude, focus in, lead your team, quit bitching at people for like not being at places, like when a lot of times you're not in those places, and just like lead by example. And I think things will get a lot better. Moving over, Kanate, other center back, again, also not great. Worse than Van Dijk. Several mistakes this year. Has looked out of it. Has looked kind of switched off. Obviously, there's speculation about him going to Madrid or Bayern or wherever else in the summer. And quite frankly, I think that's affecting him. And I think that his head's not in it, and I think that possibly putting Joe Gomez in there could be a solution, but truthfully, I just don't think Slot has it in him to do that. So if Kanate's fit, he'll play until he screws up even more. So also frustrating. Right back, Connor Bradley. Actually been pleasantly surprised with him. Had a lot of faith in him actually heading into the season, losing Trent and understanding like, okay, this is going to be your role. Like, we signed you to an extension. Let's see what you're made of. So I think he plays well. I think he presses up the wing really well. I think he makes like pretty direct crosses and puts balls into the box and gives his teammates chances to score. I also like he goes into the box and takes shots. He's been really close on a couple of shots this year. He might even have a goal. I'm not even sure. But I like the way that he's playing. Just to mention Frimpong behind him. So he, in my opinion, hasn't really lived up to the hype so far. I mean, granted, he's dealing with some injury issues. But when he's in there, I don't really feel super confident. He's like almost more of like a hybrid winger. He's fast, he's athletic, but I just don't know, when our backline is struggling so much, what really his use is. I mean, the rumor that I heard is like when Salah goes for AFCON, you could potentially play Frimpong up on the right wing, but who knows. In any case, moving up, central defensive mid, Ryan Gravenbach, fantastic player, getting better week by week, dominating possession, so tough on the ball, great passes, scores goals, dealing with a little bit of a knock right now, so hopefully he gets recovered quickly and we get him back in the team. But we've had Curtis Jones in there, and you know, the name of this pod is Strictly Scouse, and he's a Scouser through and through. And you know, we lost Trent, who was obviously a Scouser, and we lost Harvey Elliott, who is another one. But we have Curtis, and I think that Curtis has been playing well, and I think that Slot has said, like, you know, there's a reason why he's getting increased minutes. So I think he needs to continue his form. I think he needs to continue to be aggressive, and I think that he'll continue to be a tough, you know, a good part of the squad. Player of the team so far, and I don't think it's even close, is Dominic Szoboszlai. Absolutely brilliant. Midfielder when you need him, free kick taker when you need him. I mean, look at that goal against Arsenal. Literally, like, still get chills when I think about it. Just beautiful strike. Has filled in at right back when we needed him to fill in. Played great there too. So yeah, he's amazing. And honestly, I heard it floated like, so when Virgil eventually leaves or retires or whatever happens, and if Dom stays around, I think you have to really think about him for the captaincy. I think he could be a really good captain. So love what I'm seeing out of Dom. Alexis McAllister, not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. Plays well for Argentina, you know, but just something isn't clicking. I think that the way that he's setting up the team and the formations, I think that it's messing with him a little bit. He's not playing as aggressive. He's not taking those shots like outside the box that usually find the target or go in. So I don't really know what to think. I think that he'll get it together, but just right at the moment, he's just a little off form, which is going to be a common theme when we get to some other players in the squad. Who else do we have? Oh, Florian Wirtz. So big signing, record signing in the summer, huge expectations. Didn't know much about him before he came. Did a lot of research, watched a lot of highlights, heard a lot of people talk about him. Was really stoked to have him in the squad. And so far, it's been up and down. I think that he's even acknowledged that it's been tough to adapt to the Premier League and the style of play coming from the Bundesliga. So Yeah, it's going to take time with him. I mean, I think that if Slot finds his ideal position and it's more of a number 10, um, I honestly think he could play false nine like Bobby Firmino, but who knows? But yeah, I mean, 2 assists versus Frankfurt, scored back in Germany. Maybe felt a little home there, but yeah, I think he's coming into his own. I think he's getting a little bit more confidence. He had a great chance yesterday, but he struck it with his left foot and missed, barely missed. I thought he should at least hit the target, but he missed, and he knew he was bummed after it. So, um, yeah, but he'll get there. I'm confident. Even I mean, Klopp, Jurgen said like, yeah, if you doubt him, you're silly. Like this kid's special. So, super young too. Um, Left wing, we got Cody Gakpo. I think Cody's been good this season. Pretty great, actually. I mean, he's been aggressive. He scores goals. He finds ways to get involved. I like the balls that he plays into the box to get people involved. He's there for headers. So, yeah, he's a good winger. I mean, we do miss Luis Diaz, but I think Gakpo has been pretty good. I mean, yeah, all in all, I think he's been pretty good. Rio and Gamoa, he also plays on the left wing. Wonder kid, gonna be a special player. We'll never forget that goal he scored against Newcastle earlier in the season in stoppage time. Probably my favorite moment of the season so far, just because like this kid is like finally getting some playing time and being included on the squad. And yeah, I think sky's the limit for him. I love when he gets the ball and takes people on. I think that's like what wingers should do. I think they should put the pressure on those fullbacks and defenders and really look to like create chances and block. So I'm excited about him. Moving to the center, Ugo Ekitike, brilliant. Right behind Szoboszlai, in my opinion, and Gravenbach for top players on our squad so far. Timely goals, really calm and composed, and I think that he has a bright future. I really hope that Slot plays him very frequently. I think that there needs to be some consideration about playing him with Isak, but we'll see. Speaking of Isak, also another record signing. Hasn't quite found the mark yet. Has one goal, but I was in Champions League. And obviously he missed preseason, so like, the whole plan was to get him fit and to like slowly move him along and, get him to a good level. But he picked up a groin injury against Frankfurt, didn't play yesterday, definitely could have used him yesterday. My main thing with him is that like, if you follow football, especially the Premier League, you know how deadly he is. I think when he's healthy, he really does compete with Haaland for best striker in the PL and probably in all of Europe. The thing that frustrates me about his situation now is that we're not really finding him. We're not feeding him the ball like outside the box or in the box so he could take a couple dribbles and shoot, because he's really accurate when he shoots. So I think we need to get him some more looks. Moving to the right, Freddie Church, Federico Chiesa. What can you say about the lad? I mean, he's so resilient. He stuck through a season last year where he barely played. And, he was kind of assured that he would play a little bit more this year. And, we've seen that in spurts. And when he has played, he's delivered. He's produced. Like, you cannot even argue about that. Like, he won Player of the Month in September, and he played like 50 some minutes out of like a possible 200 or something. And like, I don't know. I have a thought that, Slot might have something against him, or there's like some bias towards whatever, but I hope Slot finds this or hears about this. Like, play the fucking lad. Like, he needs to be playing. He's in form. He's not getting any younger. He's already shown his capability to play at the national team level for Italy. I mean, he's brilliant in the World Cup, in the Euros. Like, the dude's good. So, yeah, play the guy, Arna. Last but not least, my favorite, Liverpool FC player, Mo Salah. Um, Look, if you follow the Premier League, and especially if you follow Liverpool, you know that Mo has taken a drop. And everyone who watches football and knows the game, you could see something's off. And I think it's a combination of things. I really think that the passing of Diogo has really affected him. I mean, you saw the emotion earlier on in the season and stuff after he scored and he did the Diogo chomp celebration and whatnot. So I think that's really affecting him still. I think it's affecting all the boys, to be honest. But so that, and then what I see is like the Mo I love is kind of like what I was describing with Rio. Like I want my winger to get the ball, like square up the fullback, and then look to attack, look to put pressure on them, look to put balls in the box and or shoot. My problem with Mo this year is he's looking to pass way more than he's looking to shoot. And like, okay, be a facilitator. That's great. If it's there, if the ball's there, play it. But we need you to score goals, Mo. Like you had arguably the best season of your career last year. So like we all know you can still do it. We all believe in you. We all know your quality and your level. But there is a noticeable drop in form and something just is not right. So like in the example of Chiesa, it's like play Chiesa until Mo gets back to his level. Like we're now at the point where like we've already lost 4 matches in the league. That's combined. That's what we lost last year when we won the title. So like they better wake up and they better do it quick. And we'll see. So that leads me into the next topic, which is Arne Slot, our manager. Brilliant first season. I think that he was really smart to keep Jurgen's players and, try to kind of adapt to that system because they were already, top class, one of the best clubs in Europe. So I think that he did a good job with that. But this year, I think he's just made some fuck ups. Like, quite frankly, I just think his selections have been off. I think that his substitutions at times in games have either come a little too early or a little too late. And then like the whole form thing, it's like, yeah, like you have your favorites, you have your mainstays in the lineup, but like ultimately you need to play the players who give you a best chance to win week in and week out. And like he says all the time at the press conferences, oh, now when you're at Liverpool, you have 2 matches in 7 days or 3 matches in 7 days. Well, if that's the case, like you're going to need to get some type of rotation. You're going to need to trust guys like Chiesa, guys like Jones, guys like Bradley, guys like Robertson. Even I would like to see Endo play a little bit more. It's like he just sits on the bench, but every time he comes in and he's not playing like a center back, he is good. So we'll see about that. But yeah, I think just tactically he's got it wrong this year. Something's changed. There was speculation that he switched up the formation against Frankfurt, and that was maybe the reason why, we scored 5. But, he's just not, right now he's just not there. And I don't know if he's getting through to the players. I don't know if the rest of his staff is getting through to the players. I don't know if he's really creating that sense of urgency, but it's definitely concerning. I definitely think that he needs to pick it up. I think that fellow Liverpool fans and other Premier League fans are ridiculous when they say fire Slot or Slot out or whatever. Like, you're a moron. He just won the Premier League and he has 4 or 5 new signings who he's trying to integrate to the squad. So I give him some grace there. I just think his management of particular players, player loads, system, I just think it's been kind of off. So next I'm going to talk about predictions. So obviously 6th in the table, like I said earlier. I do think we will get better. I don't think like there's much room to get any worse right now, to be honest. I mean, we concede 1 or 2 goals every single game, sometimes 3, like we did yesterday. So we're going to need to score a lot of goals or figure it out defensively, 1 or the 2. So we'll see how that goes. Ultimately, I do think we'll finish top 4. Right now, I'm not sold on the fact that we can repeat as champs. I think more like second or third is a little bit more reasonable. I think Arsenal is the team on form right now. I think City is number 2. I think we're probably the 3rd best team. And then like you talk about United, you talk about Tottenham, you talk about Newcastle, you talk about Palace, you talk about, Bournemouth or Villa or, some of those other teams. So yeah, there's going to be some competition in there. So it'll be interesting to see. But anyways, that concludes kind of what I wanted to talk to you about today. The plan is to do a longer form conversation like this, maybe once a week. And then the strategy is to clip certain aspects of this and then put it on social media, mainly TikTok and Instagram. So if you find this, if you like it, if you got something of value, if you want to comment on something, please do it. Please share it to your fellow supporters. I would really appreciate you helping me get the word out. I'm doing this for the very first time, very first podcast I've ever recorded. But yeah, I think it's exciting. I think it's fun. And I think that I need to, honestly, I need to kind of like vent because I was really pissed off yesterday. And I was with a United fan, so it just made it like even more terrible. You know exactly who you are. So anyways, yeah. Appreciate the support. Check us out. Strictly Scouse is the name, the working title. If you have any other cool name suggestions, I'm open. But yeah, see you on the next one. Up the Reds. You'll never walk alone. Let's pick it up, boys.